Welcome back to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again today. It's not all gloom and doom. America's still great. I just want to talk a little bit about that today. Every time I visit downtown Chicago, I'm reminded of just how great America is. Despite the racism and white supremacy, despite the inequality, despite the warmongering and the military-industrial complex, despite the corporate greed that's determined to suck the life out of all of us for the sake of another damn dime, despite the millions of entitled attitudes of Americans who think that the world owes them something, America's still great. So I'll make this vlog today because ever since I've been back, people are seeing far too much into my vlogs. They'll say, oh, it's all gloom and doom. And they mistake my passion for anger. They mistake my realness for negativity. It's none of that, really. So here's your assignment for the day. I want you to go back and read the fable, The Emperor's New Clothes, and you'll kind of see where I'm coming from. As a matter of fact, you would think that Hans Christian Andersen is alive today, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to shock you what's going on in America in this moment. But the moral of the story is real simple. Trust yourself in what you're seeing. Be honest. Speak up for the truth and what's right. You'll learn to think for yourself. See, I'm too real for a lot of people. I got out of line a long time ago. See, I do my own research. I don't rely on what somebody else said. So when you hear somebody say, let's make America great again, that's a lie, because America's already great. I'm all for let's make it greater. But the very first time I ever stepped foot in downtown Chicago, I was hooked. I fell in love because it fed something inside of me. I grew up in the West End of Louisville. My mother was on food stamps, AFDC, medical card, and all that. So at one time in my life, I wanted to be rich, financially and materially. And in 2012, when one of the companies I was working for at the time, WellCare, sent me there for 2 weeks, I stayed in the White Hall, motel or hotel. It's only, I believe it's on Delaware Street. It's only like 2 blocks from the Magnificent Mile. It just did something to me. I made a solemn oath to myself right then and there that I was going to live in downtown Chicago. Now you got to understand, I've never been anywhere else in Chicago other than O'Hara. But this was my dream. And it still may be on my bucket list to spend from May to September in Chicago. And then once it gets cold, because it gets brutally cold, move somewhere else, maybe like the Philippines or somewhere else. I loved it so much that I take my wife and our son there. We go there 2 or 3 times a year just to motivate me. And it did the trick every time, because every time I come back from Chicago, downtown Chicago, the Gold Coast, Lakeshore Drive and all that, my sales would go up. I'd be motivated. But somewhere along the line, all that changed. I still want to be rich, but in a different way. I'm already rich. And I no longer want to live like that, but I still love visiting downtown Chicago. It's one of my favorite places to visit in the entire world. There's so much to do. The ambiance, The environment, I wanted to show my Filipino wife at the time and our son why America was great. So despite all that negative stuff that I was just talking about, America's still great. It's already great. We don't have to make it great again. I'm all for making it greater. But to say let's make America great again means it's no longer great. I'm calling bullshit on that. But yeah, I still love it here. America still motivates me. As a matter of fact, it gives me a greater appreciation of the Philippines and what I've got today. We're still on planet Earth, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the day, we're still on planet Earth. And remember, nowhere is it written that I have to spend my entire life in the same spot. So thank y'all so much for stopping by. Truly grateful. Got up with that on my mind today. America is still great. There's a lot to love about this country, man. Remember, I put my life on the line for this country. So to question my patriotism, man, you out of line. So if you're in America, if you're in the Philippines, wherever you are, find in your heart to help somebody. Not a day goes by that I don't help somebody. Every single day. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure: when we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay out of trouble. I'll see you next time. Don't do anything stupid. Speak up for the truth and what is right. Learn to think for yourself. Stop relying on hearsay and what somebody else said. Do your own research. Trust yourself in what you're seeing. People mistake my passion for anger. I just tell you exactly what I'm seeing. I'm not trying to deceive anybody. If it's blue, I've said it's blue, it's not green. But I learned that from my mama. We were raised in a family of honesty. My mother's told it exactly how it is. And I just call it the nitty gritty. But I love Chicago, I love America. And when I hear people say, let's make America again, let's make America great again, I know they're lying. Because America's already great. I'm all for making it greater. Take care, y'all, and I'm gonna let y'all enjoy the rest of this beautiful downtown. As a matter of fact, we went past the largest, or one of the largest Starbucks in the world. It was actually a roastery, is that what he called it? Where they roast the coffee and they do everything, but this thing is gigantic on Michigan Avenue. If you've never been to the Magnificent Mile, the Gold Coast, Lakeshore Drive, shame on you. It reminds me every day of what makes America great. That America is already great.
Last brother, he brought his wife and daughter.
Mm-hmm. They just came too late.
Yeah. They show you, man, some guys. Now, I wonder what's this motivation?